Once again being a flip-flopper, Nightcrawler on the next page says in narration, "Don't go there, Bobby," and then spouts off more Bible quotes since, you know, that makes this whole thing more deep. Deeply stupid, mind you, but deep. In the next scene, Angel is lying in the middle of the medical bay with wires hooked up to him and all of the dead X-Men. Apparently Angel has healing blood that they hope will bring them back to life. Wolverine, still screaming, asks how long it's going to take. Angel tells him to calm down and reassures Husk that he'll be fine. "You go worry about Jubilee and Angelo. And, you know, the 4 or 5 other dead friends of yours too, perhaps." Cyclops pulls Nightcrawler aside, starting to give him instructions about assembling his squad. Nightcrawler interrupts, saying it's not just his team anymore. Cyclops states, "It is your team, Kurt. You wanted more responsibility and Xavier gave you the second squad. Whether you choose to follow up on the responsibility given to you is your business, but you are the team leader." So, wait, he's the team leader, but he doesn't have to follow up on the responsibility of it if he doesn't want to, and then you're barking out orders to him to take the responsibility of it. Is anyone following this logic? Nightcrawler states that he split his leadership responsibility with Angel, but Cyclops interrupts him by saying that he found it easier to be liked if you didn't have to make the unpopular decisions, so you left those to Warren in order to continue being everyone's happy-go-lucky best friend. He continues by giving a speech about leadership. "Being a leader isn't about being a friend or being liked." Well, I guess that explains why most fans think Cyclops is a stuck-up asshole. He is. "It's about making the right decisions no matter how tough they are, or how unpopular they make you. So get your team in the conference room, and do it now." Look, I agree with Cyclops here, but is now the best time to be giving lectures? Annie warns Angel that they're getting close to a pint of Angel's blood, and he tells her to keep going. Nightcrawler shows up to bring Husk to the meeting. She refuses, but Angel tells her to go with Nightcrawler, saying, "You're really just wasting your time here anyway." Geez, why is everyone on this team a complete asshole? Cyclops gives lectures about leadership while some of his friends just died. Iceman's more worried about the police being upset than his friends dying. Jean Grey just rolls her eyes when someone panics about her telepathic messages. And Angel's telling Husk that she's wasting her time caring about him. This team really needs a weekend retreat or something. Annie scolds Angel for his statement, defending Husk and saying that she suspects that she likes him a lot. Angel responds that he knows, but that she loves Chamber. Annie, reacting with a wonderful bedside manner, responds, "What, the kid without a mouth? Please, they're nothing to kiss." Would it help if I told you to kiss my ass? If you knew anything about women, handsome, you'd know there's nothing more important than a man who can kiss. Because his personality has nothing to do with what a woman likes in a guy. Switching scenes over to the War Room, we once again find Nightcrawler reciting Bible lines. I talk about them here, but frankly they're the only good pieces of writing in the comic, in the sense that they were written by someone other than the comic's writer. Cyclops wants to know who's responsible for the attack, and that he wants hints, clues, rumors, psychic impressions, whatever you've got, and then we're gonna find these monsters. Cyclops, you see all that technology around you? How about you punch up some camera footage or something that might show you the people who did it? Havoc brings up the idea that with the crosses and all, it's likely that it was the Church of Humanity that attacked them. Cyclops doesn't know what he's talking about, and Nightcrawler explains that they're a bunch of clowns who think mutant kind is against God. Our team has faced them a few times in differing circumstances. Cyclops quickly asks several questions at once. How many times? What's their background? Where are they located, and why weren't we briefed on them? Nightcrawler starts to answer, but as soon as he brings up how he assumed Angel had briefed him, Cyclops goes nuts, yelling at him. "Damn it, Kurt! Are you brain dead? Did you or did you not ask Xavier for more responsibility at the school?" I should maybe adopt a pet or something, Cyclops! Jeez! Again, is this really the best time to be giving Nightcrawler a lecture about the finer points of command? Some of your teammates may have just died, and it was due to a terrorist attack. Worry about that kind of crap after you've captured the killers! But no, Cyclops rants about how it's Nightcrawler's responsibility to keep the other teams appraised of potential threats. Especially if your team has failed to effectively deal with them. Gee, Cyclops, you're right. Say, how's the Hellfire Club these days? Or Apocalypse? Or Mr. Sinister? Or... Oh, pipe down, you. Meanwhile, back in the medical bay, Angel is getting lightheaded from all the blood being drained from him. Or maybe it's just confusion about why Wolverine's still in the room when he told Husk she was wasting her time. Annie tells Angel that there's no change in the conditions of the others, and Wolverine confirms this, sadly ordering Annie to cut off the feed. Angel objects, trying to get them to hold off a little longer. "Warren, I can't. Your healing thingy isn't replacing your blood as fast as I'm draining it." Healing thingy? You're a trained nurse in a universe that includes gods, mutants, and aliens, and healing thingy is how you describe it? Jubilee suddenly wakes up from being dead. Wolverine goes down and grumbles to her that she had just died. Jubilee responds, "Dude, you ever hear the words mouthwash?" Ever hear of "you just came back from the dead and no one is the slightest bit overjoyed or asking about the theological implications of all this?" Back in the war room, Cyclops wonders why the Church of Humanity in other fights at first didn't want to fight the team, but then began directly engaging them. He asks what changed about the circumstances with Nightcrawler specifically. Wait, why Nightcrawler? Sure, he's an important part of a plot point later on, but Cyclops doesn't know that. Nightcrawler says that the only major difference was that he renounced his priesthood. Havoc is shocked to discover that he was a priest, and Nightcrawler wonders why it's so hard to believe. Well, no offense, but look at you, pal. How would that work? Are you talking about being a priest to mutants? Nice work paving the way for a peaceful future between mutants and humans, Havoc. Real smooth. Iceman's more surprised that the X-Men weren't invited to the ceremony. Nightcrawler says they were invited and that they all attended. Everyone stares at him in disbelief. Or rather with apathy, shock, confusion, boredom, and surprise. Back in the infirmary, most of the others who had been dead are getting up. However, all is not well, as Angelo is still dead. Oh my god! Angelo is dead! No! Why, cruel world? Why did you have... Wait, who's Angelo? For some reason, we have a single panel of Nightcrawler holding his head as Havoc asks him what the Church could gain by making him think he was a priest, with Nightcrawler answering that he doesn't know. The scene switches to St. Michael's Church in Brooklyn, and from the looks of the page, the X-Men landed the Blackbird right in the middle of the flippin' street. Nightcrawler explains that this was the place where he thought he was doing his priestly duties under a man named Father Whitney. It was also where he remembers his ordination ceremony taking place. The others confirm that they don't recall ever being there, and Jean informs us that there is some psychic residue of someone tampering with your mind, Kurt. Oh gee, thanks Jean for telling us this rather useful bit of information now! Honestly, would it have been that difficult to clue Nightcrawler into the fact that it was likely his brain was getting screwed around with? The X-Men, being complete and utter jerks in a world that rightfully hates and fears them! In a way, I'm almost relieved to hear you say that, Sheen. I'd begun to question Father Whitney recently, in spite of his warmth and friendship toward me. It's funny how kindness is often more truly just a pleasant act of selfishness, isn't it? Wow, real deep, Kurt. Oh, I get it. That's why everyone here is a jerk. Kindness equals selfishness. And using the law of inverses, being an asshole equals altruism. Oh, and he also narrates another Bible quote. Look, you can't just inject random quotes and expect it to be deep and meaningful. Cyclops tells Wolverine to cover their backside and for Polaris to go in from the back. Let's see. Guy who can regenerate from any injury and girl who can control metal, like, you know, the stuff that tends to be in a lot of churches, can cool their heels while a group that isn't exactly indestructible goes headfirst into an unknown area with the potential of multiple engagements against forces that can tamper psychically with your brain. Remind me again why Cyclops is the leader? Oh yeah, he has to make those unpopular but necessary moves that nobody else likes to do. Maybe they're so unpopular because they're downright stupid! In any case, the group enters and finds the church empty. Nightcrawler believes that he was indeed at the church since he knew people saw him leave the mansion, and that he never made a secret of the fact that he was training to be a priest. Havoc, once again demonstrating how Xavier's lessons of tolerance and sensitivity are not wasted, says, "But how, Kurt? I mean, come on, look at you. You're a devil in a house of God." No, he's a mutant in a house of God who somewhat resembles a demon. And you're a moron who somewhat resembles an egg whisk. After a smattering of irrelevant dialogue that reveals that Havoc knows the Book of Revelations... wait, Revelations? There's no S in it! Dang it, Austin, did you even look at a Bible when you were making this thing? Jean indicates that there's blood on the floor and that they should all stand back. She has her Phoenix bird thing come out of her and wreck up the floorboards beneath them. Nightcrawler's narration, for one last time, recites a Bible quote, with this one making even less sense than before, as it references God making humanity in his own image, and that they should fill the earth and subdue it. We end with a double-page spread of a laboratory beneath the floorboards, where dozens of dead mutants are in various positions, be they in tubes, on beds, in wheelchairs, or shackled to walls. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you need to check every square inch of the house you want to buy before purchase. It's to be continued! Will Cyclops continue to be a moronic asshole to his teammates? Will Nightcrawler act like a rookie when we know he's been on the team for years? Will Polaris actually get to say a line? Will Nurse Annie read a medical textbook and learn that thingy is not something a licensed caregiver should be saying? Well, tune in next week, because this is a two-part story, and both parts suck!